Welcome back to the Slide Job Podcast. I'm your host, Colton Smith, or Left Turn Central, here joined by co host Ben Miller and co host Brandon Bull Davis. Got all three here on a Friday episode of the Slide Job Podcast. We have a lot to talk about today. We have missed the Monday for my birthday, or Sunday, or Tuesdays when it comes out. I don't know. I'm just talking, I guess. But so we do have a lot to clean up from this week. We'll start with the recent NASCAR Cup Series playoff committee and the shocking news of what's being talked about there. Then we also have Rodney Childers is crew chiefing in the Xfinity Series next season. And then Legacy Motor Club finally comes to agreement with Rick Ware Racing. As well, we got to talk about the big story of the race at New Hampshire is the beef between Ty Gibbs and Denny Hamlin. That may not be over, so stay tuned for that. And then we'll, of course, preview the Kansas race coming up, looking at the standings, who we think's got a chance to move up, move down, and who's got a chance at winning it all. So before we get into all of that, I'll ask you, starting with Bull, how's it going?
Good, man. Just been busy with work. The one of the girls' birthdays was also this week, celebrated that on Sunday. Had a big birthday party. Family, friends came over. So not too bad. Just been busy with work. How about you, Ben?
Yeah. I mean, it was a good week because I'm no longer a TQL employee. So, but yeah, I'm free, guys. I'm free. Thank God. Thank God I don't have to go through that torture anymore. But yeah, that was definitely a blessing this week. So just looking forward to my next adventure, and got an interview with the Kentucky Barrels next Monday, and looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm celebrating my birthday tomorrow night as I'm turning 25. So, yeah, it was definitely this week has been great because I don't have to work at TQL anymore. Thank God.
He is no longer living that 2QL life, and I'm happy
Yeah.
for you. Happy birthday, of course. I would give you a birthday present, but the man upstairs gave you the best one of all. So,
Absolutely.
Early birthday gift. Congratulations, man. I'm excited to see what you do next. But like I said, we have a lot to get to. So let's go ahead and get right into it, starting with the NASCAR Cup Series Playoff Committee, who has met for the last time. In this discussion, many different formats were mentioned. We've talked about a lot of them in the past. A four-race championship, potentially going back to the chase. But what was kind of the bombshell and what really got everyone's attention is, according to The Athletic, NASCAR is now seriously weighing the possibility of drastically overhauling the playoffs or so doing away with them altogether. Allegedly, a lot of people came to the table proposing that idea. It was originally just Mark Martin, I believe, was the first one to do it at the first meeting, but apparently more people have gone that route. So I'm not sure exactly how big it is and how many people came up with it, but apparently it was enough for the Athletic to go out, and apparently it's enough for NASCAR to be considering it. So I'm honestly happy with anything that demolishes the playoffs at this point. I'm willing to go into that a little bit more. But it's really a crazy turnaround for no movement in the playoff system for what, a decade now? Yeah, over a decade now. We've added playoff points, we've added stages, which has been, I think, great additions, but we've always felt like there's something missing. And seemingly going back to the regular season format, keep the stages, keep the stage points, because I think that's a way to enhance the experience of a full season format. But going with this, it's an interesting move, an interesting shift, and I'm curious what you guys have to say about it, starting with Bull.
I hate it.
Okay.
I actually like the playoffs, not necessarily the format we have now, but I like some form of a playoff. I think they could do a little changing with this format, but I think even make it more of you could even change the way that you seed the playoffs. Um, but I like that Game 7 moment. I know it's a lot of people don't. I do personally. I think it gives more enjoyment. Gives us something to talk. Gives us more to talk about. It brings excitement, like watching the Roval in 2 weeks. The Roval's not the best track, but how much more excitement is there going to be when you have 4 guys racing to stay alive for a championship? That's what makes the boring races more enjoyable. So personally, I don't like it. A little selfish because my favorite driver is not going to have a chance to win a championship in a full season format. But in the playoffs, you never know. So I personally I don't like the full season. But I'm not necessarily a fan of this format of playoffs. So I hope they change it a little bit, but not back to a full season.
Interesting. I mean, yeah, I definitely like the idea of the full season playoffs potentially coming, or excuse me, the full season championship making a comeback. But yeah, I feel like in motorsports, that's the way to try to crown a champion, though, because that's what they do in IndyCar. I mean, when you look at Alex Palou, I mean, he's been the most consistent all season, and they rewarded him with the championship along with Max Verstappen. And yeah, in a way, I just feel like we just need to try to find ways to award the driver who's been the most consistent with the championship. But yeah, I definitely like the idea that they're in the discussion of potentially making that comeback. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see down the road on what they can do.
And so I'm in the middle here because honestly, personally, I would like a full season format. I agree with you, Bull, that I love the Game 7 moment, but I don't like how forced and how just not natural it is with this current format. And I'm all for the 4-race championship and trying that out. I'm fine with that. But I'm also looking at the non-playoff standings after the race at New Hampshire, and we could be having one of the most interesting, battles for a championship. Ryan Blaney versus William Byron. Byron is up 20 points on Ryan Blaney with 999. Blaney has 979. Think about if we were going through these next couple races and we're watching. I mean, Larson's within somewhat of a striking distance at 76, probably not. But just watching Byron and Blaney battle it out race by race to try and get a championship. Blaney winning at New Hampshire, getting back in the race. I'm sure he was a little bit behind Byron for a little bit. So I think that narrative would be so much more interesting than waiting until Phoenix to know who the true championship 4 is. I think that's the main issue. We get these ideas of who the championship favorites are. I think of a year that Kevin Harvick missed the championship for. I think of a year Denny Hamlin's missed it a couple times. We get an idea. Those were years that probably they should have absolutely been competing for a championship, and they don't because of 3 lousy races or one lousy race. And I think that's what the issue is. And then Joey Logano ends up winning the championship. I think that's what the issue is with this current playoff format the way it is, and that's the issue that needs to be fixed. We need to know with at least 10 races in advance who the championship favorites are, and that can't just change on a 1 to 2 race basis. And I think that's hopefully what NASCAR is realizing. I'm not banging down the door for the full season format, but all I'm saying is it would be a lot of fun. And I think it is worth mentioning the chase because I made a whole video on this channel about the 2011 season. I think it's the best season in my life. And why is that? Because you had Tony Stewart versus Carl Edwards in a tiebreak, race by race. They're going back and forth, and it ends at Homestead with the tiebreak. That's not going to happen every year. And that's the thing, is NASCAR joined the playoffs to try and be like other sports. But in reality, in sports, you knew the Eagles and the Chiefs were making the championship. There's maybe another team that could have, but you knew at least one of those two were going to be in the championship for most of the year. And I think that's okay. Having those dynasties, we hate the Chiefs with everything to the point we were rooting for Philadelphia to win it all. That's the kind of stuff we need back, and we don't have that in the playoffs system, really, outside of Penske absolutely dominating the last 3 years. So we're hoping that goes away. But yeah, that's my spiel. I didn't expect to go that long on it, but any other thoughts on the full season format or what they're doing with the playoffs?
So
sorry, Bull.
So one thing I'll add Ben mentioned the IndyCar and Palou winning it. Didn't they crown that with like 4 races left? So,
Yeah, they did.
so,
Or
and that's
I think it
and,
was 4. Yeah.
and that's one of what I don't like about the full season. You have 4 races that just don't matter. I mean, yes, they matter, so to speak, but they really don't. The champion's already crowned. He's already won it. Yes, he was the most deserving driver, but one thing that I think they would change was a couple years ago when Truex didn't even make the playoffs, and he was fourth or fifth in points.
Hmm.
That's what needs to change with the current format. There's no reason Martin Truex should not have been racing for a championship that year.
You can add Chris
Yeah.
Buescher this year, Ryan Preece even this year. I mean, not that they were fourth in the points. I get that's an extreme case, but I agree with you. I think every year we have those snubs, and it's not like, oh, it's just how hard it is in the playoffs. No, that's how easy it is to get in the playoffs. I think that's the issue. It comes how easy. It's a double-edged sword on that. But any final thoughts on playoff talk, Ben?
I mean, just get rid of winning you're in, and just try to make consistency matter, because after last year's championship battle with Joey Logano winning it, that's when we got to make a change. So we just need consistency back in NASCAR, because the fans are definitely not going to like it moving forward. We definitely need changes for sure.
Yeah. I agree, and I'm glad they're making the changes. We will not hear anything from on this topic until after the championship it was announced. So we will let this rest, but it'll be an off-season talking point for sure that we'll be bringing up. But let's go ahead and quickly go through. Rodney Childers will be crew chiefing the number 1 junior motorsports car Chevrolet part-time or full-time car that has part-time drivers in it. Connor Zilich and I almost said Travis Kvapil. Carson Kvapil will be wheeling the number 1 car. I don't know. I'm kind of odd that, not Zilich, but Kvapil is not full time. He's 4th in the Xfinity season series points. He's been a consistent driver. He's had some good battles with. I keep on wanting to call freaking. Connor, I want to call him Hocevar for some reason. I have to get that out of my system. Zilich, he's had some good battles with him. So it's kind of a head scratching move that Kvapil's not full time next year. I think the rumor is that also Carruth and Day are going to be part time as well, if I saw that correctly. So some interesting moves from the Hendrick camp or Chevy as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely cool to see Rodney Childers get a big opportunity to work at Junior Motorsports. I mean, when you look at this guy's resume as a crew chief, I mean, he's done he's accomplished a lot, though. I mean, during his time with Kevin Harvick from 2014 to 2003 up until his retirement year, they've done great things together. I mean, of course, that 2014 championship, and they have 37 wins together. And, I can definitely see him being a great fit at Junior Motorsports. I mean, you already know they're already having a great year with Connor Zilich and potentially on their way to winning a championship. I mean, Justin Allgaier's had a great year. And, now that you mentioned Carson Kvapil about him not having a full-time ride next year, Colton, I mean, I definitely did find that odd for sure because, like you said, he's 4th in points. He's had some good battles. And, I just find that really, really bizarre how he's not having a full-time ride next year. But regardless, though, I feel like Rodney Childers, he's going to work really well with Connor Zilich. I mean, when you think about that crew chief and driver duo, I mean, that's greatness right there. I mean, I can definitely see them winning a lot of races together. And I could see Carson Kvapil. I feel like he's going to work well with Rodney Childers. And but yeah, like I mentioned, Junior Motorsports, they're having such a fantastic year. They're out there on the track dominating on their way to a championship, like I mentioned. And I mean, 2026, I think it's only going to get better with them. So I think yeah, this is a big time opportunity for Junior Motorsports and Rodney Childers, and it's definitely going to be fun to watch for sure with Quaffle and Zillage.
All right, Bull. I see you smirking over there. You alluded to it before the show. What are you thinking?
So this only makes the best Xfinity team better. Rodney Childers, I've listened to a bunch of podcasts, listened to Kevin Harvick talk about him. He's one of the most creative crew chiefs that I've heard. And you can do that in the Xfinity series. The Cup car, it's basically a kit car. You can't make those adjustments and all that stuff that he's known for and been able to do. But the interesting thing that I think, and just a little throw this out there, he has 40 wins in the Cup Series and 1 championship. There's a big court case going on with a Cup Series team losing their rides, potentially, with 2311. If NASCAR owns those charters, they're going to go somewhere. Who better than to get one and start a Cup Series than Junior and Rodney Childers?
I can't think of a better combination.
Yeah, exactly.
And NASCAR is going to want more viewers. I know there's a lot of fans that love Rodney Childers.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves Junior. What's going to bring more excitement back than if Junior somehow gets one of these charters? If 2311 loses their charters and they go to NASCAR.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Just an interesting little thought that I had.
I like that thought. I've heard. I was thinking that too a little bit. I also wonder is maybe they want to see what the Zillage and Childers combination's like, and does he end up being Zillage's crew chief at Trackhouse? I don't know. We'll see. Mm-hmm. Is Quaffle maybe in line for the 48 or a job that they want us to get that combination going?
Good point.
I don't know. I like the way you think, though, Bull. I like the way you think. It's a lot of that's still up in the air, though, with the lawsuit, and we don't exactly know. But, yeah, it's definitely an interesting point. Let's move along to the Denny Hamlin and Ty Gibbs talk here. We don't have to do it. I mean, it's been talked about a bunch. I always love it when drivers get mad at other drivers racing them. It's a good old thing. And I'll go ahead and just say my thoughts. I would agree that Gibbs raced Bell ridiculously. It was like lap 100 or so out of 301, 3 wide with Keselowski on the outside, running him inside, like just driving like you're driving in NASCAR Heat or something like that, or I guess now NASCAR 25. Like it just felt like a video game how he was driving. Like I don't care for you at all. Like I'm just, not going to try. And so honestly, if Bell would have dumped him, I don't think there'd be as much. There's actual stuff to point at. However, what I saw between Denny and Gibbs transpire didn't seem anything more than just hard racing to me. And I think it just kind of is a microcosm. I think it's just kind of an example of why Denny does not have a championship. You are racing for like 13th on lap 108, and you're getting like this pressed about it because it's your teammate. I don't know. Pass him, be faster than him. Like, it's just how New Hampshire is. If like every driver that couldn't get past the person in front of them dumped them, there would be nobody left in the race. It would just be a wreck fest. So I don't really get it. I mean, it is kind of typical Denny behavior, but I personally feel as though Bell would have been more justified. And if you want to even make the teammate point, I'm competing for a championship. He dumped Ty Gibbs, and Ty Gibbs about took out Christopher Bell with him out of his control. Christopher Bell was right up there on the outside where Bell went into. So guess what? You could have ruined your teammates' chances at winning a championship. So it's hypocritical to say that. So I'm curious to be a fly on the wall at those meetings at Joe Gibbs this week would have been awesome. But unfortunately, I don't have that privilege. But Bull, I know you're a big Denny guy. So what do you have to say?
That, just like you said, I would love to have been a fly on the wall for that competition meeting on Monday. That would have been great.
Yeah.
But Denny does no wrong. Denny's always
No,
right. Denny's always right. He does no wrong. Um,
is that Larson that said that?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Larson did say that at Pocono. Yeah.
Um, but no, I kind of agree with Denny to an extent. He is racing for a playoffs, but Gibbs is also racing for his first win. I think that 120 race winless streak, that's the longest in JGR history by any driver. I'll say that again. Uh, is might be catching up to him. He's feeling the pressure. He has had a faster car the last couple weeks, uh, but I think uh, not necessarily everybody. If they're racing for a championship, you kind of not let them go, but you don't race them as hard. But especially your teammate. Your name is on the building. That if you're especially, I think if it's your teammate, you race them, but I don't think you race them that hard. I don't think he should have raced Bell that hard. They're racing for championship. If they'll let them two go up there battle, and if they screw up, guess what? You're right there to pass on both. Um,
Mm.
but I don't know. I think it might have been Gibbs getting a little anxious. He did have a fast car. One had potential to win that race, um, but I don't know. I think he it's that winless streak's catching up to him.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I definitely see Denny Hamlin's point. Like him, Bell, and Briscoe, they're the three JGR drivers that are racing for a championship. And Ty Gibbs, he's left out of the playoffs. So yeah, I can definitely see Denny Hamlin's frustration for sure. But I just feel like I think Steve Letarte said it on the broadcast. Like if they were running for like third, fourth, fifth, or the win, trying to get a stage win, or just trying to win the race itself, like I can understand Ty Gibbs. Being aggressive for sure. But I mean, but you're racing for a spot outside outside the top 10, and I just feel like in that moment, Ty Gibbs probably shouldn't be racing his teammates like that. I mean, maybe should have let him go to try to get some stage points to get some valuable stage points to stay above the cut line, things like that. But I mean, I get that. I get racing is racing, but at the same time, you got teammates going for a championship, and I just feel like, in a way, Gibbs he probably shouldn't have raced Hamlin and Bell as hard as he did. But yeah, that's just my personal take on that.
Also, how do you think he feels with Briscoe coming over in his first year at JGR, winning all these poles, winning races, makes the playoffs? That's got to add a little extra pressure on as well.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. But
I'm just curious because I'm not necessarily seeing the line here. How is this any different from Lando Norris letting off to let Piastri win the race in F1? And how is this any different than all the shenanigans that played out at Martinsville, a year or two ago that Chastain and Busch got in trouble for? How is this any? I don't know if Bull necessarily scolded him. I know Ben at least had issues with what happened with Lando Norris. I guess because the team actually told them to do that. Ty Gibbs wasn't told to do anything. I don't know. I'm a person that just thinks race. I don't care who's behind me. I don't care who's in front of me. Race. And I guess that's just different psychological, whatever you want to say it. Anyways, let's move on to our last talking point here. Legacy Motor Club. The details of the settlement. There came to a settlement with that of Rick Ware Racing to acquire their third charter. They should have 3 full-time cars next year. Not sure that they'll have a full-time driver in that third car, but they'll at least have a rotation of drivers in that third legacy car. I'm kind of indifferent on this. I felt that they should have just kept it at what they have. They're starting to get some positive momentum. Why get a third car and possibly mess it up by spreading yourself too thin? But I guess that's why I'm not making the business decision. So Ben, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, I did like your point there about like why try to get this third charter though, because they've been showing some flashes the last few weeks, but I just feel like I feel like in a way this is going to be good for Legacy Motor Club to get that third charter, and I just feel like the more charters that you get, I feel like in a way that's going to make the team more competitive, and I feel like this is going to be a step in the right direction for Legacy Motor Club, and who knows, maybe with that third charter, maybe that's going to be good data to try to be more competitive, and who knows, maybe they can have a strong 2026 next season. So it'll be interesting to see, because earlier this year, I mean, we've seen it that they've been showing some flashes on the track. I mean, we saw it from Eric Jones, we saw it from John Hunter Nemechek at these intermediate tracks. So I feel like it'll be interesting to see what they can do for sure.
Sorry to cut you off, Bull, but I'm just curious. I'm not sure that it makes them any more competitive. I think actually quite the contrary. If you look at in teams like 23XI and Trackhouse, when they added their third teams, 23XI has been fine for the most part, but they've been really inconsistent. And then you look at Trackhouse, they've fallen off a cliff. Like adding that third charter, that's $40 million you have to pay right off the bat for that charter. On top of that, you have to build a program that can run 36 races. So you're kind of, unless you have infinite amounts of money, you're drawing from the other two cars. We've seen the fall off of Daniel Suarez. We've seen Ross Chastain not have speed. The qualifying speed is atrocious. Maybe there's a little more than meets the eye with Trackhouse, but 23XI has also seen a very large dip in performance. RFK has bucked the trend though, although they don't have a win. So have they really bucked that trend? I don't know. I'll hand it over to Bull, but I don't know if it really makes them more competitive. It just gives them another car.
I kind of agree with you, Colton. I don't think that's more people you're going to have to hire, more time you're dedicating to another car. Yes, it will be a different crew, but it's still the only advantage I see, kind of like what Ben said, is that third car. That's another set of notes to help with the other two. But the last month they've been having great performance. So I don't know how much that weighs into this. I know Jimmy said he wanted a third car for quite a while now, but I don't know. I think I'm like you. I kind of think it's gonna hurt. You're starting up a brand new team. You're going to have to hire all these new people. Who's the driver even going to be?
I might just be a part-time like Jimmy and then Corey Heim and maybe another driver or two.
Probably, yeah.
And that's the thing, because there's not really any full-time drivers available that you would want in a full-time charter. So you're going to have
all I could think of.
You're going to have a third team that's a part crew that's a part-time driver. You're going to be mixing and matching. You don't get that consistency, that relationship. And look, there might be a driver that I'm not thinking of, but I don't see one.
Unless they're thinking of bringing up Corey Heim.
Yeah, Heim.
But I don't even know. I'm not trying to hate on Corey Heim, but we've also seen that jump from the Truck Series and the Cup Series. That takes a couple years. We saw it with Todd Gillen. We've seen it, Byron didn't make the jump straight from the trucks, but anyways,
go ahead. From what I've heard though, and read, the best jump is to go from truck to Cup. The way that they drive, the way the new car drives, it drives more like the Truck Series than it does the Xfinity.
Fair enough.
That's just something I've heard on a few podcasts and read. So that could be a possibility.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm open to that. I don't drive them, so I don't necessarily know. Maybe I'll know after NASCAR 25, but I could see that honestly because it's a bulkier car than the Xfinity car, and I could see that. Yeah, but I'm not fully sold on that. Another example that came to mind is Colleague. They tried expanding, and they had that part-time car deal. I just don't see how that really builds your program at all. And it has consistently affected the other cars in that. But anything you want to mention on that, Ben? I know we kind of went against what you said, so I'll let you rebuttal if you have anything.
Yeah, I feel like I don't think I got anything else for that segment.
All right,
He's just happy because it's another car for Jimmy.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Yes.
Maybe
yes.
Jimmy comes back
doesn't
full
do
time.
wrong.
At the age of 50, he comes back full time. Here we go.
Get an 8th championship.
Yeah, it's coming. But let's go ahead. We have taken a crap load of time here on this opening stuff. I knew we had a lot to talk about and unpack. So this happens when we only have one episode in a week. So we have to make sure that doesn't happen again. But let's go ahead and go through our fly the flags here. First one, NASCAR will return to a full season championship bowl.
I'm going to go red. I don't think they'll do it. I think they like the Game 7 moment as well. I think that brings more viewers. So I'm going to go red flag. I hope they don't, but we'll see.
Ben?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I want to see it, at the end of the day, I don't really see NASCAR doing it. So I'm going to go red flag as well. I mean, yeah, I think Bull said it best. I mean, I think NASCAR they like that Game 7 moment, and I feel like that draws fan engagement. And yeah, I feel like I don't see them really doing it. I mean, like I said, I would like to see it come back, but I just don't see it happening.
I want it back, but I'll also give it a red flag. I'm realistic. It's not going to happen. It's a bunch of sham, bullarchy, whatever. Let's go ahead and move to Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin was justified in the dumping of Ty Gibbs. I pretty much gave my answer earlier. I think red. No, it was not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go red as well. I don't think so.
I'm gonna go yellow. It's close. Like I said, I just don't think you race your teammate that hard while they're racing for a championship.
Yeah, I see your point there. Ty Gibbs would be on the other side. Ty Gibbs would be justified in retaliating on his teammate, to which I say yellow flag. I don't think so, but honestly, I just think it'd be funny and entertaining. So why not?
Yeah,
Ben.
Yeah, I would definitely say yellow flag too. I definitely agree with it.
Bull.
I'm gonna go yellow flag as well. And actually, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna go green. I think he would be, and it's more of a you get what you come, because Denny has raced like that with other people. I mean, I'll say that myself, even being a big Denny fan, but it's he's got it coming. If Ty Gibbs just lets everybody do that to him, then that's going to happen more and more. At some point you got to stand up. That enough's enough. I hope he doesn't, at least this year. Let that spew off season. I don't think he should while racing for a championship. If he gets eliminated, maybe. But I think he is kind of justified.
I think it'd be hilarious if we got a Jeff Gordon to Boyer at Phoenix situation. Like where the championship is. If Ty Gibbs pulling that at Phoenix was how Denny lost his best shot at a championship.
JGR would be on fire Monday morning.
I think Denny would just pick up his shop and then just drop it over Joe Gibbs. Like, this is my place now. All right. And then the last one leads us into our next conversation. The four drivers below the cut line will be eliminated after the Roval. Just to keep you all in check here. The bottom four are Ross Chastain, 12 points below the cut line. Austin Cindric, 19 points below the cut line. Tyler Reddick, 23 points below the cut line. And Bubba Wallace, 27 points below the cut line. Bull, what do you think?
I'm going to go red flag. I could see three of those drivers winning Sunday. Ross, Reddick, or Bubba are all very good at Kansas. I could see one of them three actually winning on Sunday to advance on to the next round. So I'm going to go red flag.
Ben?
Bull, you took the words right out of my mouth. I'm going red flag as well. I can definitely see Chastain, Reddick, and Bubba winning at Kansas. I mean, like you said, this has been a really good track for them. I mean, Ross Chastain comes in as the defending winner, of course, and Reddick has a win, Bubba has a win, and yeah, they definitely know how to tame Kansas. And I feel like those three, they're definitely going to be factors on Sunday to try to compete for that win and punch their ticket to the round of 8. So yeah, I'm definitely going red flag.
Red flag for me as well. Even if they don't win, I can see Ross Chastain having a really great day, and that's really all it takes to catch. Maybe Chase Elliott has a slow day. This is a good track for him, though, so he better not. Maybe Logano. I don't know who exactly. It is quite a wide gap, but he could at least get a lot closer, make that cut line a little closer, and then if he's able to get a good finish at the Roval, he could sneak in. But also Reddick and Wallace are absolutely winning threats, especially with that added urgency of needing a win to get in the next round. It has done magical things, especially for Toyota drivers. I think of Christopher Bell a couple of years ago and what they're able to accomplish. So having that, it can kind of be refreshing to not have to worry about getting the results. Like just get the win, man. You don't have to be there. They could still point their way back in, but it would take a lot. It would take something on the other end as well, falling apart. Maybe Ty Gibbs doing something to Denny Hamlin. But that is this edition of Fly the Flag. I'm going to go ahead and make the executive decision to skip power rankings. Sorry, I know we all prepared those, but we have taken up a lot of time. Let's go ahead and look at this NASCAR Cup Series playoff standings and kind of talk about this race. We definitely have entered into it. Ryan Blaney is safe. He's got his win. He will be in the next round. William Byron is in second place, 47 points above the cut line. Had a great New Hampshire race. Current regular season points leader. Kyle Larson has 41 points above the cut line in third. Bell is 29 with Hamlin 27 above. Joey Logano with an outstanding day at 24 points above the cut line. Chase Elliott and Chase Briscoe have cushions, you could call them. 14 for Chase Elliott and 12 for Chase Briscoe. We mentioned Chastain, Cindric, and Reddick and Wallace are all below the cut line. So looking at this point standings, what are you thinking, Bull? Who's moving down? Who's moving up? I know you haven't seemed to have an idea of somebody winning. So who do you think is going to collapse here?
So I just said I could see one of those guys winning, but I think that's the only way one of those four advance. I think that gap is too wide to point their way in. So I think it's going to take a win from one of those four to be able to advance, unless somebody just ultimately collapses. They wreck early, don't get any stage points, something like that. That obviously that will hurt, and that will close that gap fast. But I think it's going to take a win for the bottom four to advance.
Ben?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely agree, Bull. I definitely think it's going to take a win for those four drivers below the cut line to advance. And yeah, I don't really see any fallers going into this weekend unless one of those four can win. I mean, as long as they're competitive, winning stages or getting stage points, excuse me, have a fast car, qualifying will be beneficial. And yeah, I feel like if they just run a clean race, no issues on pit road, show up with the speed, I don't really see anybody really falling out. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a good one.
Just taking a look at these average finishes here. Chase Briscoe does have a 19.6 place average finish at Kansas, below average. A lot of that can be Stuart Haas. This is a really good track for Toyota. This is a really good track for MTJ. So I wouldn't sound the alarm necessarily, but it is something to keep in mind. Not a track that Chase Briscoe, who is the lowest on the totem pole right now, just 12 points above the cut line, will he be able to get stage points? Will he, crack into the top 10? I would side with yes, but it's a possibility. Maybe he doesn't have Kansas down, especially when you look at Ross Chastain, who's well at Kansas, could end up capitalizing with stage points at Kansas. And Tyler Reddick, maybe if he's able to win some stages, could. I think there's still a window for somebody to point their way back in. And with the Roval, anything can happen. So I'm not ruling it out yet, but going more into detail on this Kansas race. Fun fact: Kurt Busch has the best average finish in the next gen era with the one race and first place finish there. Just speaking to the 2311 dominance, but Kyle Larson, unsurprisingly, has the second best. Alex Bowman actually has the third best, if only he was still in the playoffs. With both of those guys have a sixth place average finish. Then you got Hamlin, Bell, Blaney, Chastain, all drivers in the playoffs right now, looking to be sitting pretty. So I think that's where the favorites are going to lie. I feel like Hamlin, whenever he has a fire under him, he tends to do pretty well. So I would he probably gets the pole and then runs up front for a bit. But Bell, he's been really fast throughout these playoffs, and this is a good track for him. I vividly remember him and Eric Jones having a good battle in the Xfinity Series here. That just came to mind. I think Bell was still part-time in the Xfinity Series at that point. I could be mistaken. Maybe I was thinking Jones is part-time.
If I'm not mistaken as well, Bell has won like 4 of the last 5 poles at Kansas.
Right.
Fact check that. That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah, that does sound right. Yeah,
that puts him in a great spot to get some even more stage points. So, and what the shame is that this race is not at night, because Kansas at night is very fun. Races at night have been really fun this year. But maybe there's cooler temps. I haven't looked at the weather. It's like 70s here. Kansas ain't too far from here. It's actually quite a ways, but perhaps it could be cooler. We've seen cooler temps in the day do it. But yeah, I'll just throw the conversation to you guys, starting with Ben. Who are you looking at as favorites in this race?
Yeah, I mean, you got to definitely look at Joe Gibbs Racing in those Toyotas. I mean, it's been a really good track for Joe Gibbs Racing and Toyota, and but specifically Christopher Bell. I mean, he's always up front at Kansas, always a threat to win. Shows up with the fast cars, and he's always does really well in qualifying. So, I definitely look for that 20 car to be a factor this weekend. And also, I'm looking at the 5 car Kyle Larson, because ever since that win at Kansas back in the spring, since that point, basically since the Indy 500, it's just been he just hasn't been the same driver. I mean, we're used to seeing him up front, dominating these races, and not only him, but Hendrick Motorsports, they've just been down as a whole so far in these playoffs. And I'm just curious if Larson can he's going to a track he absolutely loves this weekend, Kansas, where he's always up front, dominating, leading laps, and always in contention to be a threat to win. And I'm just curious if this is going to be the weekend where he finally turns that bad luck around, and we get back to the Kyle Larson that we're used to seeing, which is dominating, running up front, and being a threat to win. But it'll definitely be interesting to see. And another driver, real quick, that I'm keeping an eye on is Bubba Wallace. Obviously, during the summer stretch, it's been really good for him. Even though Loudon wasn't really a really good race for him, though, did not show up with any speed whatsoever. I mean, it's been a while since we've seen that, and but it'll be interesting to see what that 23 car brings this weekend, and I can definitely see Bubba being a factor, and I feel like he's going to be motivated this weekend. I mean, he currently sits minus 27 below the cut line, and Kansas has been a really good track for him, like we talked about. He does have a win there. It's been a good track for 2311. So, I'm definitely keeping an eye on those three three guys for sure, because in a way, I definitely feel like somebody below the cut line is going to possibly win for sure. But overall, it's definitely going to be fun to watch. But those are my 3 drivers that I'm keeping an eye on.
Bull, who you got circled?
I get a couple guys, kind of like Ben mentioned. Obviously, 2311 with Reddick and Bubba backs up against the wall. We know Bubba's
not really Herbst.
No, we know Bubba's not really in contention to win the Roval. So this is his chance to advance. He's got to have a great race, no mistakes, and put together a great race. And hopefully, if he wants to advance, just be able to survive at the Roval and see where he falls. Another one I got circled, Denny Hamlin. And it's not for the good. I don't know if you remember, he lost his crew chief a couple weeks ago, his pit crew, when the tire came off. And they protested last week. So he's not going to have his crew chief and his pit crew this week. So I'll be interested to see how that plays effect on his race this week. He won't have them for this week or next week at the Roval. So is something that I'm going to keep an eye on to see how that affects. And then, like Ben said, Hendrick, just Hendrick in general, to see, like you mentioned, Colton, this is a good track for Elliott. Larson has a great track record here as well. Byron's had speed at a lot of intermediates. His issue has just been closing. So be interested to see, and just seeing if the Fords can, how the Fords can keep up with these. If anybody is going to make their way to be able to point, I think it's going to be due to the Fords struggling. I don't see Cindric or Logano, either one, having a great race here. And if they don't, that opens the door for somebody to potentially try to point their way in. But I do think that gap it's a pretty big gap.
Yeah, I agree. It's
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, especially we just don't know exactly what everyone's going to bring, right? You mentioned Hendrick has been a good Hendrick track. 2311 and Toyota have owned it, but Hendrick has been consistently good at this track. And is this where we finally see them open? They looked better at Loudon. I will give them that. They did look better at Loudon, but still not the Hendrick that we know and love or hate. So I would side on them hopefully showing up, but if they don't, that's when we got to sound the alarms on Hendrick. If they do not show up to this race at Kansas, a track that we trust them at, that's where I get worried and start saying it's Toyota time. I've been saying it's Toyota time, but I feel like that would kind of be the nail in the coffin for me. Of course, you can always just turn around and make me look like an idiot next week at the Roval, but yeah, that's something I'll be watching for sure. Is the Hendrick guys, how do they run, and how are they looking compared to Toyota, who has brought the speed to start the playoffs. Finally, just got their first race without them winning. But let's go ahead and wrap this up with our winner picks. Bull, who you got?
I'm going to go with a guy that we've been talking about below the cut line. I'm going to go with Bubba Wallace. Winning, being able to seal his ticket to the next round.
Ben?
Interesting. Yeah, I definitely feel like those Toyotas, they're going to show up strong as always, as we've been seeing so far in these playoffs. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of guys that I can see potentially winning this race. But I'm going to go with Bull. I'm going to go with the 23 of Bubba Wallace. I feel like he's going to come in motivated this weekend at a track that he absolutely loves, where he has a win, and he's like I said, he's going to be motivated from what happened in Loudon last week. Did not show up with any speed whatsoever, but I feel like he's going to put that race behind him, and this is a fresh start for that 23 group, and I feel like they are going to show up, and they're going to be factors to win on Sunday because, like I said, Bubba, he's motivated, his season's on the line, and I feel like he's only focused on this week, and I just don't see him really being a factor at the Roval. So this is his weekend. His season is on the line. So give me the 23 of Bubba Wallace.
Well, fellas, I will save the graphic for you. Tempting as it is to go with Bubba, my picks don't typically go so well. So I guess that I shouldn't say that because I'm not necessarily rooting against. Actually, yes, I am rooting against him. I'm going with Ross Chastain. I think it's another guy that's below the cut line. It feels like just kind of the place for him to randomly get that second win and extend his playoffs into the round of 8. Yeah, it just seems like a random place for him to do it, and it seems right. Nobody's really talking about it, and so give me the one of Ross Chastain. So yeah, no next round for you. But the Discord is blowing up right now.
I know.
Something must have happened in the Reds game.
It's the Marlins.
Yeah.
They're up 6-2.
They're up.
Let's
I didn't see
go.
that. I didn't see that.
We are
but yeah,
one, boys.
We're tied at 1. Discord's going crazy, so I got to go figure out what all is going on in there. We had Bull must have been here. We must have had 3 people because we have another 50-minute episode. Gotta love it. But we're making up for the lost time we had last week. That's what we do here at the Slide Job Podcast. We don't short you any time. So thank you all for listening. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Comment down below you guys' thoughts on all this. We had a lot of hot takes this week, I feel like. So I might have to cut those up and get them out on the shorts for the people that can't sit through it all. Bull, Ben, thank you so much for coming on to the show tonight and being here each and every week. I looked at the Discord and now I don't have my thing pulled up, so let's see if I got it from memory. Follow Bull at bull_81818 on Twitter. Follow Ben at Ben Miller PXP on Twitter or X as well. Be sure to check us out at CX Podcast Network there. Also on Apple Music, Spotify, and Amazon. We're on all those platforms as well if you don't want to look at our ugly mugs. And we will see you all in the next one. Stuff's still going on in the Reds game. Peace.